The church doors burst open with a thunderous crash, and there stood Elena, drenched from the relentless New York rain. Her eyes locked on me as I stood at the altar in my white gown. "Sarah, you can't marry him," she shouted, her voice slicing through the gasps of the congregation like a knife. In that frozen moment, as my fiancé's face twisted in confusion and my parents rose in horror, I realized the life I'd built was crumbling, and the truth I'd buried for years was about to drag us all into the abyss. I met Elena 3 years earlier at a bustling Manhattan cafe, where she worked as a barista, her smile cutting through the morning rush like sunlight on steel. I was Sarah Thompson, a 28-year-old marketing executive from a conservative Midwestern family that had relocated to the city for my father's banking job. Always expected to uphold the image of perfection, Elena Vasquez, 26, was the daughter of immigrant parents from Mexico, scraping by on tips while pursuing a degree in social work, her spirit unyielding despite the odds stacked against her. Our first conversation was innocuous, a mix-up with my latte order that led to laughter and an exchanged glance that lingered just a second too long. But as weeks turned into months, our chance encounters evolved into deliberate meetups. Stolen lunches in Central Park, late-night texts about dreams and fears. Elena's openness about her sexuality was a revelation. She'd come out in college, facing rejection from extended family, but finding solace in New York's vibrant queer community. I, on the other hand, had always suppressed those flickering doubts, channeling them into a safe relationship with Mark, my high school sweetheart turned fiancé, who represented stability and approval. The tension built subtly at first. One evening, after a particularly grueling day at work, I found myself at Elena's tiny apartment in Brooklyn, venting over cheap wine. "You deserve more than just fine, Sarah," she said, her hand brushing mine, sending an electric jolt through me. I pulled away, heart pounding, but the seed was planted. Nights like that multiplied, each one chipping away at my facade. Mark proposed soon after, and I said yes, convincing myself it was the right path, the one my parents envisioned, free from scandal. But Elena wouldn't let it go. "This isn't you," she whispered during a clandestine walk along the Hudson River. Her words echoed my inner turmoil. The guilt of deceiving Mark, the fear of disappointing my devout Catholic mother, who often spoke of grandchildren and tradition. Society's gaze felt heavier in the city that never sleeps, whispers at work about those people, judgmental stares from strangers. I confided in Elena about my confusion, and she listened without judgment, her presence a balm and a curse. The first major conflict erupted when my mother visited unexpectedly and found a photo of Elena and me on my phone, innocent but intimate. "Who is this girl? You spend too much time with friends like her," she probed, her tone laced with suspicion. I lied, dismissing it as a work colleague, but the seed of doubt grew in her eyes. That night I confronted Elena. "We can't keep doing this. It's tearing me apart." She nodded, tears welling, but her resolve hardened. "Then choose, Sarah. But don't choose out of fear." As wedding preparations intensified, so did my internal war. Mark was oblivious, planning our honeymoon in the Hamptons, while I sneaked away to meet Elena, our conversations turning raw. "What if I'm wrong?" I asked her one rainy afternoon in a dimly lit diner. "What if coming out destroys everything?" Elena's response was unflinching. "Hiding destroys you more." Her words haunted me, amplifying the pressure from all sides. Family expectations clashing with my burgeoning self-awareness. The turning point came during a bridal shower, where my sister's toast about finding the perfect man felt like a noose. I excused myself, calling Elena in a panic. "I love you," I blurted out, the admission shattering the dam. She arrived at my door hours later, and in that embrace the world narrowed to us. But reality intruded swiftly. Mark discovered a text, leading to a heated argument. "Is there someone else?" he demanded. I denied it, but the lie tasted like ash. Elena's family added another layer of complexity. Her parents, though supportive of her identity, worried about her involvement with someone in the closet. "Mija, she could break your heart," her mother warned. Elena brushed it off, but the doubt crept in, fueling arguments between us. "Are you ashamed of me?" she accused during one late-night call. My silence was damning. As the wedding date loomed, the stakes escalated. I confided in a close friend who urged therapy, but sessions only deepened the chasm. My therapist highlighting the moral quandary of stringing Mark along. Society's lens magnified everything. News stories of hate crimes against LGBTQ+ individuals. Online forums debating family values. I felt trapped in a web of my own making. The night before the wedding, Elena showed up at my bachelorette party, uninvited, her eyes pleading. "Don't do this," she said in a hushed corner. I pushed her away, fear overriding desire, but her parting words lingered. "If you walk down that aisle, you're betraying yourself." Sleep evaded me that night, visions of a hollow future clashing with the terror of upheaval. And so, as the organ played and I approached the altar, Elena's dramatic entrance wasn't just a shock, it was the catalyst. The congregation murmured, my father's face reddened with rage, and Mark's hand tightened on mine. In that chaos I had to decide. Cling to the familiar or leap into the unknown. Chaos erupted in the church as Elena stood there, rain pooling at her feet, her declaration hanging in the air like a guillotine. My mother clutched her pearls, whispering frantic prayers while Mark turned to me, his eyes wide with betrayal. "Sarah, what the hell is going on?" he hissed, and in that instant, I knew the facade had cracked irreparably, the price of my silence now demanding payment in full. I pulled away from Mark, my voice trembling as I addressed the room. "Everyone, please. I need a moment." Ushers tried to escort Elena out, but she resisted, her gaze never leaving mine. Outside in the vestibule, away from prying eyes, she grabbed my arm. "I couldn't let you throw your life away," she said, her voice breaking. Tears streamed down my face as I confessed. "I love you, Elena. But this is madness." The immediate aftermath was a whirlwind. Mark stormed out, leaving me to face my family alone. My father, a stern man shaped by old-world values, exploded. "You've humiliated us. What will people say?" My mother, torn between love and doctrine, sobbed. "We raised you better than this." Their words cut deep, echoing the societal norms I'd internalized, the expectation of heteronormative bliss, the stigma attached to anything else. Elena and I escaped to her apartment, the city lights blurring through tear-streaked windows. "What now?" I asked, collapsing onto her couch. She held me, but tension simmered beneath the surface. "We fight for this," she replied, but her optimism clashed with my guilt. That night Mark called, demanding answers. "Is it true? Are you gay?" His voice cracked, revealing the depth of his hurt. I admitted everything, the conversation ending in his shattered, "How could you?" The next days blurred into a haze of confrontations. My boss at the marketing firm, upon hearing rumors, pulled me aside. "Sarah, this could affect client relations. We're a family-oriented company." The subtle threat hung heavy, amplifying my fear of professional fallout. Elena faced her own battles. Her conservative aunt, upon learning of us, cut ties, labeling it a phase. "Why drag someone else into your mess?" she spat over the phone. Our relationship, once a secret haven, now faced public scrutiny. A walk in the park turned sour when a passerby muttered slurs. Elena's hand tightening in mine as she whispered, "Ignore them." But I couldn't. The internalized shame resurfaced, leading to our first major fight. "You're pulling away again," she accused. "I thought we were in this together." My response was defensive. "It's not that simple. My whole life is unraveling." Therapy became a lifeline, but it unearthed more pain. Sessions revealed my deep-seated fear of abandonment, rooted in childhood expectations. Elena joined occasionally, her vulnerability shining through as she shared her own scars, rejection from family gatherings, the loneliness of being the gay one. Yet, moments of tenderness persisted. Cooking dinner together, sharing dreams of a future unbound by judgment. The plot thickened when Mark, in a fit of rage, leaked our story to mutual friends. Social media erupted, supportive messages mixed with vitriol. "Disgusting," one anonymous commenter wrote. My sister, caught in the crossfire, mediated. "Mom and Dad are devastated, but they love you." A family dinner turned explosive. My father demanded I fix this, while Elena, invited against my better judgment, defended us. "Love isn't a choice," she said firmly. He stormed out, leaving a rift that felt insurmountable. Elena's job suffered too. A bigoted customer complained about her lifestyle, leading to reduced shifts. "It's not fair," I lamented. She shrugged. "This is the price we pay." Her resilience inspired me, but doubt crept in. Was I worth the sacrifice? A late-night confession revealed her own inner conflict. Sometimes I wonder if I'm pushing you too hard. As weeks passed, we navigated practicalities. Me moving out of the shared apartment with Mark, facing his lawyers over canceled wedding expenses. The financial hit was brutal, but the emotional toll heavier. Friends divided loyalties. Some ghosted, others rallied. A support group for LGBTQ+ individuals became our anchor, stories of similar struggles fostering hope. Yet betrayal loomed. An old college friend of mine, jealous of my new life, spread rumors at work, leading to a formal HR meeting. We value diversity, they said, but the undertone was clear. Toe the line. Elena's encouragement kept me going. You're stronger than this. Our bond deepened amid adversity. Stolen kisses in hidden alleys, a rebellion against the world. The climax of this chapter came during Pride Month, when Elena convinced me to attend a parade. Amid rainbows and cheers, I felt liberated. Until spotting my parents in the crowd, not as participants but observers. My mother's tearful approach. We're trying to understand. It was a tentative bridge, but one fraught with conditions. As summer faded, the weight of decisions pressed on. Elena proposed moving in together, a leap that terrified me. Are we ready? I asked. Her answer. We'll never be if we wait for perfection. But beneath her bravado I sensed cracks, the toll of my hesitation wearing on her. The olive branch from my parents shattered when my father issued an ultimatum over dinner. Choose us or her. His words, delivered in our family home in the suburbs, hung like a death sentence, forcing me to confront the irreconcilable divide. Elena, waiting in the car outside, saw my ashen face and knew the battle lines were drawn, and the casualties would be profound. Back in the city I broke down. They want me to end this, I sobbed. Elena's response was measured. Then what do you want? Her question pierced my core, highlighting my indecision as the true enemy. That night we argued fiercely, me defending family ties, her advocating self-truth. Blood isn't everything, she snapped. The fight ended in silence, a chasm opening between us. Professional pressures mounted. At work, a promotion I'd slipped away, the feedback veiled. We need someone more stable. Paranoia set in. Every whisper felt like judgment. Elena's shifts dwindled further, forcing her to take a second job at a queer-friendly bar, where late hours bred exhaustion and resentment. I'm doing this for us, she said, but her eyes betrayed fatigue. A turning point arrived via an unexpected ally. My sister, who secretly met with Elena. She's good for you, she confided to me later. This sparked hope but also conflict. My sister urged reconciliation with parents, while Elena pushed for boundaries. Don't let them control you, she advised. The moral dilemma weighed heavy. Honor thy parents or honor thyself. Society's undercurrents surged. A local news story about a hate crime against a lesbian couple shook us. Elena attended a vigil, dragging me along. Standing amid candles and tears, I voiced my fears. What if that's us? Her reply. Then we fight harder. But the event triggered nightmares, amplifying my anxiety. Betrayal struck from within when I discovered Elena had confided in her ex-girlfriend for support. Jealousy flared. How could you? I accused. She explained it was platonic, but trust frayed. You're not the only one hurting, she retorted. The argument escalated, leading to a temporary separation. Me crashing at my sister's, Elena alone in Brooklyn. During this break, introspection deepened. Journaling revealed patterns. My fear of loss stemming from a childhood move that uprooted friendships. Therapy sessions unpacked the ethical quagmire. Deceiving Mark had been wrong, but suppressing my identity equally so. Calls from Elena went unanswered at first, each ring a reminder of the void. Reconciliation came via a surprise. Elena showed up at my office with coffee, echoing our first meeting. I miss you, she said simply. We talked for hours, laying bare vulnerabilities. I was scared too, she admitted. Our reunion was tentative but passionate, renewed commitment amid lingering doubts. Family dynamics shifted when my mother reached out alone. I don't understand, but I love you, she said over tea. Tears flowed as I shared my journey, her listening a small victory. But my father's silence loomed, a shadow over progress. Elena's world cracked further when her workplace discrimination escalated to a formal complaint. "They're firing me," she revealed, voice hollow. Rage fueled me. I helped her file a lawsuit, our first joint stand against injustice. The process was grueling. Depositions exposing personal details, media snippets amplifying exposure. Amid this, a moral crossroads. Mark contacted me seeking closure. Meeting him at a neutral cafe, he confessed lingering love but acknowledged my truth. "I wish you'd told me sooner," he said. Guilt surged. My apology felt inadequate, but it freed a weight. As autumn leaves fell, our relationship evolved. Weekend getaways to upstate New York offered respite, conversations turning philosophical. The cost of authenticity versus conformity. Elena's strength inspired, but her sacrifices, strained family ties, career setbacks, gnawed at me. The chapter's peak arrived during Thanksgiving. Invited to my parents without Elena, I refused. It's both or neither. The standoff resulted in a lonely holiday, Elena and I sharing takeout, toasting to chosen family. But the isolation stung, highlighting the ongoing toll. Hope flickered when my sister hosted a secret gathering, including Elena. Awkward at first, it thawed tensions, stories shared, laughter tentative. My father's absence was noted, but my mother's hug to Elena signaled progress. Yet, as winter approached, a new threat emerged. Elena's health faltered under stress, a doctor's visit revealing anxiety-induced issues. "You need to slow down," I urged. Her response: "For us, I'd do anything." The words warmed, but underscored the uneven burden. The doctor's diagnosis hit like a freight train. Elena's chronic stress had led to severe migraines, forcing her to quit the bar job entirely. "This is because of me?" I whispered in the waiting room, guilt twisting like a vice. She squeezed my hand. "No, it's because of the world, but we'll beat it together." Recovery demanded changes. I took on extra freelance work to cover bills, our roles reversing as I became the provider. Elena resented the dependency. "I hate feeling weak." Arguments flared over finances, exposing cracks in our foundation. "We're in this mess because of my choices," I admitted. Her forgiveness was swift, but the strain lingered. Societal backlash intensified via online harassment after the lawsuit went public. Trolls targeted us, doxing attempts forcing us to privatize accounts. Why fight? I despaired one night. Elena's fire reignited. Because silence lets them win. Her activism deepened, joining advocacy groups, pulling me in reluctantly. A profound betrayal came from my father, who in a heated call disowned me. "You're no daughter of mine." The words echoed, shattering remaining illusions. My mother's pleas fell on deaf ears. The family fractured irrevocably. Elena comforted me, but her own family issues resurfaced. Her parents, supportive yet traditional, questioned our future. "Will you have kids?" Stability. Moral quandaries peaked during a panel discussion Elena organized on LGBTQ+ rights. I spoke publicly for the first time, voice shaking. "Love shouldn't cost everything." Applause followed, but backlash from conservative circles targeted my job. A client pulled out, citing values misalignment. The professional hit was devastating. I considered quitting. In this turmoil, moments of awakening emerged. A letter from Mark arrived. "I've moved on and I forgive you." It prompted reflection, the chain of hurts we'd inflicted, the growth from pain. Elena and I recommitted, attending couples counseling to navigate resentments. The plot twisted when Elena's ex reappeared, offering a job at a nonprofit. Suspicion brewed. "Is this coincidence?" I asked. She assured me it was professional, but doubt festered, leading to a surveillance slip. I checked her phone, finding innocent messages. Confronted, she exploded. "Trust is everything." The fight nearly ended us, my apology a desperate plea. Healing came slowly. A weekend retreat in the Catskills forced honesty. Elena revealed her fear of abandonment, mirroring mine. "We've both paid dearly," she said. Vows renewed informally, we planned a future, perhaps marriage defying norms. Family reconciliation inched forward. My sister bridged gaps, convincing my mother to visit. Over coffee, tears and truths flowed. "I was wrong to pressure you," but my father's stubbornness persisted, a wound unhealed. As spring bloomed, Elena's health improved, her lawsuit settling favorably, compensation easing burdens. Empowerment surged. I switched jobs to a progressive firm, embracing my identity openly. Yet sacrifices mounted. Friends lost, opportunities foregone. The ledger of loss grew. Elena's quiet admission. Sometimes I wonder if it's worth it. My heart clenched. The question mirrored my own doubts. The chapter closed on a high-stakes decision. Elena proposed relocating to San Francisco for better opportunities. A fresh start, she urged. I hesitated, tied to New York roots, but the allure of freedom beckoned. The moving truck pulled away from our Brooklyn stoop, loaded with boxes symbolizing our leap into uncertainty. And as San Francisco's fog enveloped us, I wondered if this escape would heal or highlight the fractures we'd ignored. Elena's hand in mine felt like an anchor, but the cross-country drive had unearthed buried resentments. We're starting over, she said optimistically, yet her eyes betrayed the exhaustion of constant battle. Settling in the Bay Area brought mixed blessings. The queer-friendly vibe was liberating. Pride events without fear, communities welcoming. Elena thrived at her new nonprofit role, advocating for immigrant LGBTQ+ rights. Her passion reignited. I landed a position at a tech startup. Diversity celebrated rather than tolerated. But old ghosts haunted. News from home. My father's health declined, a heart scare prompting my mother's plea. Come back. Guilt surged. I flew east alone, facing him in the hospital. I didn't choose this, I said softly. His gruff response. Neither did I. No apology, but a crack in the armor. A photo of Elena on my phone went uncommented. Elena's world expanded, but so did temptations. A charismatic colleague flirted openly, testing our bond. It's nothing, she dismissed, but my insecurity flared, echoing past betrayals. A heated argument ensued. After everything, you doubt me? The makeup was intense, reaffirming commitment, but scars remained. Societal reflections deepened via Elena's work. Cases of youth rejected by families mirrored our story, fueling her drive and my resolve. We volunteered together, mentoring a teen navigating coming out, the experience therapeutic. This is why we fight, Elena said, eyes shining. A major confrontation arose when my ex-client from New York sued for breach, dragging our personal life into court. They're using our relationship against us, I raged. Elena's support was unwavering, hiring lawyers with settlement funds. The trial was grueling. Testimonies exposing vulnerabilities, media sensationalizing. Victory came, but at a cost. Privacy eroded, stress resurfacing Elena's health issues. In this crucible, awakening peaked. I proposed to Elena on a foggy Golden Gate overlook. Ring simple but sincere. Through it all, you're my choice. Tears mingled with yes, but realism tempered joy. Marriage won't fix everything. Family dynamics evolved. My mother attended our small ceremony via video, a tentative acceptance. My father sent a card. Be happy. Sparse but progress. Elena's parents flew in, embracing me as family. Their warmth a balm. Yet damages lingered. Career setbacks meant delayed dreams, homeownership, travel. Elena's admission. I've lost parts of myself. The price of authenticity. Isolation from roots, constant vigilance against bias. As years blurred, our story became one of resilience. Highs of shared successes, Elena's promotion, my book on identity, balanced lows of microaggressions. A final twist. Adopting a child, navigating legal hurdles as a same-sex couple, amplifying ethical debates. In reflection, the journey's toll was immense. Relationships severed, psyches scarred, but growth profound. Elena and I, forged in fire, stood stronger. Was betraying societal expectations a moral triumph? Or did the collateral damage outweigh the personal liberation?